Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Audra and I'm here today with my end of the year book haul. In November and December I bought a lot more books than I normally do. I don't know about you, but when I'm stressed or when I'm ready to celebrate, I buy books. And there's been a lot of both of those kind of moments in the last couple months. I finished chemo. My doctor told me I could get my port out. My port removal surgery got moved out, and so there was a lot of things to celebrate, so a lot of good reasons to buy books. And then just the stress of it all being done and just trusting that there's no more cancer in my body, that's a big deal. And so I bought books on the days that I was kind of feeling weary about that. So I have a lot of books to show you, and we're just going to get into it. All right, the first one that I grabbed is Like Water by Rebecca Poros, and I grabbed this for the Contemporary-a-thon. It was for the LGBTQIA plus buddy read, I guess. It's about a character whose job is to be like one of those mermaids in like this glass case at an amusement park, I believe. And of course there's a female-female romance in it, but I never got around to reading it, and everybody that read it kind of said it wasn't really that great, so I'm not too bummed that I didn't get around to it, but I have that for my collection now. The next one I have is Far From the Tree by Robin Benway. And this is actually one that I had my eye on, and I stared at it at the bookstore, and it was a couple different times, like the one in Wichita, the one in Hutch, and I constantly was picking this up thinking about buying it. And then I ordered like our books for the year at school, and I don't buy any YA for school because we only got to 5th grade. And this one wasn't labeled and it wasn't wrapped like all the other books. It was just sitting on top in there. And it was so bizarre. Like, I feel like it was one of those moments that my brother, who passed away 5 years ago, sends a sign that he's watching? I don't know. So I have it. I'm going to read it, and then since it was like in our school box, I'm going to donate it to the high school library. But I'm excited to read this. It's a story of 3 different kids that I believe were either in foster care or given up for adoption. And it's their story of how they find each other again and kind of deal with the ramifications of what these kids deal with in the system and why one of them was kept by their family. And this is all set in motion when the 16-year-old sister gets pregnant, and she kind of wants to know where she came from, which you can't really blame her for that. But this is just one of those books that I know I'm going to love, and it's already received a great big award, so I think it's going to be a great read. So the next one I grabbed from Amazon was Purple Hearts by Tess Wakefield, and I've wanted to try this for a while, and so I finally picked it up. It's about Luke and Cassie, and they both find themselves in this situation where they basically have to get married for money type of thing. So Cassie is diagnosed with diabetes and has a bunch of medical bills, and Luke is in the Army, so you get more money being a family than just being single in the Army. And so as a pay raise and as a way to help Cassie pay her bills, they get married, and it's just kind of their story. So obviously a contemporary romance type of thing, and we'll see how it is. The next one I grabbed along with that was Shoot Down the Windy Bird. It is a collection of flash fiction and poetry. This was actually created by a booktuber, Julie, over at Pages and Pens, so I wanted to support her and check out her work. It is a short read, but I know it's going to be a great one. So there's her beautiful face on the back, and you should definitely check this one out too. Now, if you've been around here any sort of time, which isn't very long because I'm kind of new to this, you'll know I love World War II Holocaust fiction, and so I picked up 3 at Barnes & Noble the day I was told that I could get my port out. So I got Letters from Sky. It is by Jessica Brockmull. And all I can really tell about this is that it starts off in World War I with a woman and kind of her story. And then it goes forward to World War II. And it's that woman's daughter's story during the war. So I'm sure this is going to be a lot of family ties, some love, some loss, and it'll probably be a great one. This one is the Chilbury Ladies Choir by Jennifer Ryan, and it's another one I've had on my radar for a while, and it's finally out in paperback. But basically, it's just about the women that were left behind when their husbands went to war and how they formed a choir and gained friendship during this hard time. And my last one in that trio was The Waiting Room. This is probably the one that's the most intriguing of all 3 of these. It's basically about the waiting room in an ER, and the doctor that's in charge for those 24 hours is a daughter of some concentration camp survivors. And I'm not sure how they all comes together, but it is a lot of storyline of that. It says on the back, the waiting room unfolds over the course of a single life-changing day. But the story it tells spans 5 decades, 3 continents, and one family's compelling history of love, war, and survival. So I am so excited to dig into this one because it's going to be different than what I normally read for World War II fiction, but it also sounds really great. So this next one I got because I had a gift card that was given to me to our bookstore in the city, downtown. So this is A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. Yeah, I've never read any of these, and which is like a cardinal sin, I guess, on BookTube. This is basically a retelling of Beauty and the Beast. I don't know much else about it, other than everybody says to read it. I'm hoping I like it, and I hope I can get into the trilogy, but as you can probably tell, I'm not too much of a fantasy reader, but I'm still going to give it a shot. Next up, I bought my own copy of Sparrow, because the cover is beautiful, but I know the storyline is going to be great as well. It is about a girl who is found standing on the edge of a building and is about to jump because she's facing some hard times. Her librarian had died, and she was having a tough time processing that. So it's just kind of her story of grief after and how to deal with these emotions with the help of her psychiatrist. And it just looks like an awesome book. And seriously, look at the artwork. I got it in the spine. And even the undies are beautiful. It has the imprint of her. It is gorgeous. So even if the story is bad, I'm keeping it because the cover, I don't know that I own another cover that's this pretty. So obviously I'm excited for this one, and I will let you know what I think. This next one is The Hating Game by Sally Thorne. If you watch Chelsea Dilling Reads at all, you already know why I picked this up. She's read it 4 times already this year, and I love contemporary. She loves contemporary, and this is her all-time favorite, which took the place of Attachments by Rainbow Rowell, which I loved. So this is just a feisty, like, office romance. They first hate each other, and then it turns into something different. So I'm excited to give this one a try. And then for Christmas, I got a gift card to Target from our PTO, and I picked up Truly Madly Guilty by Leanne Moriarty. I don't know. She's one of my favorite authors, but I didn't know how to say her name. So I just need to read a couple more of her books, and I finished all of her work. So I picked this one up because it is lengthier, and I don't like to have like long library books for whatever reason. And this paperback is just really nice. So I picked this up to add to my 2018 to be read list. So these next 2 are actually spiritual reads. The first one I picked up was Priscillas Tires, The Armor of God. One of my coworkers and really good friends has encouraged me to go through this study as just kind of a way to protect myself from the messages that Satan puts in my head about cancer, and just how to better prepare myself mentally and emotionally and spiritually for the life of a survivor. This isn't just about like cancer survivor, obviously. It's just about how to protect yourself from the evil things that you have started to believe. And this other one is How's Your Soul by Judah Smith. I know nothing about this except I got a text message from one of my really close friends as a child. She said, I know you're a book lover and a Jesus lover, and you should really check this out. So it's why everything that matters starts with the inside of you. And I think from what she said, it's kind of a humorous read as well as a spiritual read. So I'm excited to dig into this one. And now these next 3 are another weird ones because since I am a teacher librarian, I pick up some oddball things because I like to do my own little professional development. The first one is this book about axolotls. I'm still contemplating whether I want to get a library pet, but I obviously need to know how to take care of those creatures before I buy one because they're Mexican water salamanders. This next one I got, I am super excited to read. It is called From Striving to Thriving, How to Grow Confident, Capable Readers. And this is kind of like the in-between, it seems, from The Book Whisperer. And I'm excited to read this because it's very up-to-date. It talks about all the new literature, all the new practices. It has great examples, and I'm just really, really looking forward to digging into this one, probably like the very beginning of January. And the last one I picked up in December was Connected Librarians Tap Social Media to Enhance Professional Development and Student Learning. So it's basically just kind of how to use social media to gain better knowledge and to connect with others, because obviously in a school building there are not a whole lot of librarians, and so you've got to connect in other ways. It's short. I'm excited to read it, even though a lot of it may be repeated knowledge. So those are all the books that I bought in November and December. Like I said, I usually do not buy that many books at all. So this is a 2-month haul, and normally I will probably do like a 4-month haul. So hopefully I can get things in check, because on top of all these books, I also did my Judge a Chapter by a Book haul from Book Depository, and then I did my book outlet haul for getting my poured out. So I'm drowning in a lot of new books, which is a good problem to have. So I probably need to hold back, but I'm not making any promises, let's be real. Especially being on BookTube and you're like constantly looking at reviews and seeing what other people are reading. You're like, oh, I need to read it. Oh, I need to try it. So we will see what other books I can manage to pick up in 2018. So until then, I will talk to you guys later. Bye, guys.